Hi guys, it's Sam from Creatively Sam's, and today I'm taking a plain Dollar Tree vase and changing it from this to this. If you want to see how I did this, stay tuned. It's coming up next. I found this vase at the Dollar Tree, and as soon as I saw it, I had an idea of what I wanted to do with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is scrub it out really well for a couple of reasons. One, I cannot stand the stickers on them. And second of all, I don't know who's been touching this, and I don't know what was on their hands, and I need this clean. So I'm going to scrub it up really well, and as soon as I get it scrubbed, I'm going to put some masking tape and some, I guess I'll use freezer paper because I have that on hand. And I'm going to cover the whole outside. And what I also have is my 50-50 mixture of vinegar and water. And my Krylon looking glass paint. And I'm going to be spray painting the inside. And you also need paper towels. So I'll be back when I get this all taped up and washed and all the other good stuff. Okay, I got it all covered, all on the outside. And the inside, I'm going to be giving it a good spray of this 50-50 vinegar and water mix. And what this does is it makes like a resist for the looking glass spray so that it has the look of mercury glass. And this is definitely the first step in what I can see as a finished product for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going in here and I'm going to spray, and I'm going to give it a decent spray. You can see how it's wet in there, hopefully. I know it's a little tough because the sun is super bright. Although I am not complaining, because we have had nothing but rain for days and days and days. And I have a friend that lives in Colorado, and she's got snow. So, yeah, I'm not going to complain about the breeze, these beautiful blue skies. I'm a happy camper. Alright, now that I have this all sprayed, I'm going to take a paper towel, just a small one, and I'm going to go in and gently dab the edge so it doesn't roll down in. Now this I've shaken up very well. And I'm going to give it a good coat. And you can already see how the paint is not sticking to the water. And I'm going to give this a really good coat, and then once it's coated, I'm going to come in and I'm going to dab away the vinegar. And I'll show you that as soon as I get it done. Okay, hopefully you can see in there and see all the water. That is actually the vinegar and water. So I'm just going to go in here with a paper towel. And I'm going to get up as much of this as I can. But I'm not going to wipe, I'm going to dab. And it is so bright that I'm actually having trouble seeing the camera even with my blue blockers on. So, I did take off paint, but also took out water. And I'm going to let this dry for about half an hour. And then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to repeat the same thing. Okay, there's the inside of the vase after 2 coats. And I'm going to give it one more good coat. Boys, this bring back memories. My very first video on YouTube was turning a pumpkin into a mercury glass pumpkin. So yes, I enjoy doing these. Okay, going to get this nice and sprayed and put on the looking glass and go from there. Okay, there's the third coat, and you can see the paint dripping down on top of the water. And you can see the water in the bottom. And I'm going to give this just a little time to dry before I get the paper towels in. Because if you put the paper towels in too early, you'll wipe off all the paint that you just put on. So, yeah, I'm going to give this about 15 minutes and then wipe all the excess out. Okay, it's been probably 15-20 minutes and it's looking pretty dry. So I'm just going to go in here and dab. And like I said, don't wipe because it'll wipe off the paint. You just want to dab to get rid of the moisture. And I'll be back as soon as I get the rest of that done. Okay, I got it all wiped out. And now I'm going to take the paper off. And this is only paint. If there isn't enough on here, put another coat on. And that's one of the best things about working with paint, is that you can always add more. And I'll be back as soon as I'm done tearing this off so that you can see how it turned out. Okay, there it is with all the paper off. And you can see a few streaks in there, but it's going to be fine for what I have in mind for this. But you can see the way it's reflecting, it does look like mercury glass. Okay, first step is done, and I'm going to let this sit out here for at least another half hour, maybe an hour, just to get rid of the smell of the paint before I take it in and start finishing up the outside of this. So, we'll be back. Okay, now that the vase is all done, I got out my glossy Mod Podge, and I'm using gloss because this is such a shiny surface. I've got the Mod Podge poured in a styrofoam plate with an old paintbrush, and I've got my crushed glass, and I got this at Michael's, I do believe, in their floral section, and it says decorative filler. This stuff looks like mirrors. It looks more like crushed mirrors than crushed glass. So I thought this would be a nice addition to this vase. Okay, I also have a styrofoam bowl, which I'm going to use to catch the crushed glass as it falls. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Mod Podge and I'm going to start with putting it around the rim of the, well, not the rim, but where it goes in on the vase. I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to let it drip down just a little bit, and I'm going to do sections at a time and then put the crushed glass on. And you don't have to be neat with this, you just have to get a decent coat on. And you want to put a decent coat on to catch, so the crushed glass has something to dig into. But I always like the way this gives it a look of like it's dripping diamonds almost. And this is a very, very messy project. So take your time and be prepared for the mess. And you can see what happens when you don't get it on thick enough, like right here. I definitely need a much thicker coat. Okay, that's where it is so far, and it's leaving big spaces, and I'm not real happy with the way that it's doing this. So I got out the clear tacky glue, and I think I might use that to fill in the spaces, because I don't know if it's the heat, because it is a hot one today, but this just seems to be too loose. So I'll put a little bit of this clear tacky glue, and I like the clear stuff when I'm working with anything that's shiny. I mean, Aleene's usually does dry clear, but just in case. Okay, I'm just going to do it the same way, but you can see how much thicker this is. And I'm just going to fill in there. And we'll see how this works. Oh yeah, this is sticking a lot nicer. Okay, I'm going to keep going all the way around, and I'm going to be using this clear tacky glue, and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, it's drying, and I've got a major mess everywhere. And once this is completely dry, I'm going to take this outside, and I'm going to give it a good coat of some Krylon triple thick clear glaze. I've used that before on this crushed glass, and it really keeps everything together. But so far, I'm really liking the way this turned out. It's messy, and it's taken a little longer than I thought it would, but yeah, I really like this. And there it is, all nice and dry. And I was actually pretty disappointed in the fact that the Mod Podge didn't work by itself, but yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. So if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.